Hi everyone, welcome to From the Tap, brought to you by your friends from Kamstrup. We're going to talk about water news, our views, and sample some brews today. I have my co-host here, Travis Smith, and I'm Joe Ball. Our topic today is customer service at your water utilities.
Joe, let's move on to our next topic, the bad actors out in the utility. What'd you bring for us there?
So I went and I found a beer from Realm Brewing Company, which is here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I brought Hazy Like a Fox, because I think these are the bad actors that are always trying to do something that's a little shady.
Yeah, and so what is their slogan?
It's called Hazy as a Fox, and their little tagline for this beer is, you gotta know the rules before you could break them. So I thought it would be a good one to try as we discuss some of the things that the bad actors do.
That's great, because I also think some of the ways to deter bad actors is to let them know you're actually monitoring them. That's a great deterrence, and these types of customer notification portals and data sets provide that insight to people to know that we're actually watching. So what kind of beer is it again, Joe?
It is a hazy IPA.
All right.
So hazy as a fox.
And so what are some of the bad actors that we see out there in utilities? Some things that happen that may not be so good for the revenue side of the utility?
From the perspective of bad actors, the one that you think of most, or that I think of, is theft. Right? The ability to do things with the system, with their meter, to be able to manipulate their consumption and lower their bill. So many of the systems out there have different types of alerts and alarms that could send back a message to the AMI system that gives the utility the ability to identify when there's something going on, and they could send a team out to investigate it.
So that's sort of those things of the reverse alarm and the empty pipe, knowing that someone pulled that meter out and tried to spin it around to get that registration. We can actually get those alarms now over an AMI system, and not only catch that early, but maybe look at some method of adjudication or enforcement on those events to protect the revenue of the utility.
Absolutely. So let's give this one a try too.
Well, it definitely has some fruity elements in there, just like some of those bad actors.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing that's really great about the smart metering systems or the AMI systems when it comes to helping identify some bad actors is not only those alarms, like I said, empty pipe or reverse flow, but there's the ability to monitor inactive accounts. So in years past, some water utilities would pull their meter because they figured if there's no meter there, then they can't have water service, which is not necessarily true. But now with the data that's constantly coming back, you could see when an inactive account or an inactive property has water consumption being going on at that particular property. So it gives them kind of eyes and ears for their distribution system from back in the office.
That's a great point. Some of the other concerns we see is there's always a certain percentage of the people who are not really willing to pay their bill. And so how can an AMI system either detect that or work around those particular concerns?
So I'm going to take a look at it a few different ways. First off, the folks that don't pay their bill, a lot of times you could have water shut off, right? That's probably one of the main ways that a water utility kind of encourages the payment of their bill, right? So with a smart metering system or an AMI system, you could have a remote shutoff valve, meaning you could operate that valve, you could turn that valve on and off from the water utility, so you don't have to roll a truck to shut the water off. The benefit to there is safety for your employee, but you can, again, find that customer that's not paying their bill, shut their water off, and then return it on or connect it when they do make that payment. So that's one way that you could leverage the system for that.
Sure, and I think additionally, you can certainly time mark and time stamp those events with the multitude of data to better understand that. And now you know how to face the customer, and you know exactly what the outstanding amount is. So that data provides us new insights into how to face those bad actors.
Yeah, and you hit a point there with the way the system kind of timestamps things, right? So there's always a record in the system, in many of the systems that are out there, that lets you know when this alarm happened or some type of activity happened. So it gives that water utility support so if they were going to enforce some type of penalties to that particular bad actor.
Sure. Well, I think that's a great use of the technology to face some of those instances where maybe some citizens are doing some things that are unattractive they didn't attend to. Again, I think a big part of curtailing those activities is the ability to monitor and communicate, that we have the ability to track those things through technologies. So excited to see that come to fruition as we move up that technology curve.
I agree. It really is a good feature for the water utilities and for their customers, because ultimately the full customer base pays for these bad actors that are stealing water, doing these type of malice acts. So it really helps not only just the utility kind of enforce some of their policies, but it also helps the rest of the community that's paying for that water.
Sure, lowers the cost basis. What'd you think of the Hazy IPA, Joe?
I thought it was great, actually. It was a great beer, and I love it because it's a local one here to where our headquarters is here in Georgia, in Cumming, Georgia.
It's always good to see where great beer needs great water, part of our community there.
It's Joe's show. Go ahead, say it.
Joe, you are the host. I understand. I am the sidekick. Love that. I can tell.